What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, or hate. Now, real quick, I just want to say, I was watching the press conference with Charlo, and even his coach, he's trying to make the fight sound like it's a draw, and overall, Jamel felt like he won the fight. Castano felt like he won the fight. We already know how that fight went. And the outcome, I still feel like Castano won. Now, 7-5 is what I had it. Even 8-4, I could rock with that. For all y'all talking about 12-2 or shutout, stop playing with yourselves, man. The fight wasn't that widespread like people try to make it sound like it was. But I felt like he won conventionally. Like, it was a good close fight, but okay, you stayed in the fight, Jamel. But Castano, he edged it out where I had it, I had it 7-5, and they both rocked each other, but he definitely hurt Castano more than Castano hurt him. Definitely, that's not even a question. You could see the difference, okay, and who was really hurt more. But regardless, I think that fight warrants a rematch. Now, looking at Romero versus Jigen, and it was a very sloppy fight. A lot of wrestling going on, a lot of just hugging and tying up, and just a lot of weird stuff. Like, it wasn't a good fight to me. It was they were landing hard shots. The crowd was on their eye. Rowley was throwing everything. Like, he was trying to knock him out with every shot, and they basically it was just one of those sloppy slugfest type fights. But the thing is, he's calling out Tank, and okay, if he want that smoke, if Tank want to give it to him, whatever. In all honesty, I think he's better off rematching, Martinez Jackson. And if he can make the adjustments he need to beat him, then that's a step in the right direction. But I think if he fights Tank, I think Tank destroys him. Now, Raleigh can punch, he has grit, and he's tough. So it's not like he can't land a hard shot. Like, the best way the only way I see him beating Tank or any of the elite guys at that weight class is if he can knock him out. That's it. I don't see him outboxing any of them. And he's there to be hit, man. He reminds me a lot of James Kirkland, man. Power, grit, come forward. He probably has a better chin than Kirkland, but overall, he's just there to be hit, man. And it's like, part of what I mean is he just doesn't improve. Every fight I see Rolly Romero have, I just don't see his skills sharpening up. I don't see any technique. It's just the same guy every single time. So I don't see him having much success against Tank Davis. And in all honesty, I think Tank would beat the living hell out of him. I don't. That's a fight I don't even see being competitive. I see him trying to knock Tank out. I see him trying to go for the kill. I think Tank would destroy him. Now, like I said, if that's the fight that he wants, hey, honestly, that's just a fight I feel like he's out of his league. He's out of his league. He needs a lot of improvement before he goes in there and fight a guy like Tank, in my opinion. Now, Charlo, in his situation, hopefully we get that rematch. And to the guy that made the comment about Jamel, and the point that I was making was this, okay, him and about Canelo. For everybody that was saying Jamel is the real one, you all was saying that Jamal was the real one at first. Remember that. And then Jamel got beat by Tony Harrison. He was crying and talking about how he don't play video games because he don't like to lose, and people laughed at him and said Jamal was the real one. Jamal made a decision that people didn't like. Now Jamel is the real one. Now Jamel gets a decision, gets a draw, and people that feel like he lost, which I feel like he lost, now they're saying he ain't shit and all that. Okay, whatever, man. But then, the same way, okay, my point to you, bro, you know who you are. You said Jamal Charlo clearly ducked Demetrius Andre. And I said, yeah, I feel like he's ducking him as well. And if they fight, I'm going with Jamal, right? But guess what? Canelo ducked him too. Canelo said he's a horrible fighter. You don't consider that a duck because he insulted him? He did the same thing that Jamal did. Jamal just called him broke, said he's looking for a payday. You know, so is Canelo saying that all those guys he fought is better than Demetrius Andre? Because if not, and if it turns out that Demetrius is better than them, then that just means, you know, Canelo saying he fought a bunch of horrible fighters if they're not as good as Demetrius. So I don't understand what your point was. They both ducked him. They both made a stupid ass excuse to not fight Demetrius Andre. Keep that same energy with one that you do with the other. Simple as that. They both ducked Demetrius Andre. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's the reality. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.